We have an important update tonight on a local veterans fight for benefits. This right here is Steve Fisher. He joined the Marines after 9/11 and served in Iraq. He survived 3 roadside bombs, but his biggest battle has been with the VA. Investigative reporter Angie Racono provides a reality check into what many veterans face.
We told you Steve's story more than a year ago. That's because he had been battling for benefits since 2007, meaning it's lasted 3 presidencies. Steve thought his battle was finally over, so we did a report. But we have now learned his fight continues.
I heard a big boom, lots of smoke, high-pitched ringing sound. And then after that, everybody was rushing around the truck to try and get us out of there.
Steve served 3 tours in Iraq and survived 3 roadside bombs. This one was the worst.
And it separated the entire truck in half. Luckily, everybody did survive, but we were all knocked unconscious and medevac to Fallujah Surgical.
Steve says life changed after that blast. So he applied for benefits when he finished his tours. He suffers from PTSD, traumatic brain injury, hearing and vision loss, and nerve damage, especially in his back. Steve first applied in 2007. It took 2 years for the VA to approve some claims. That kicked off a long appeals process as his file bounced from Washington to the regional level twice. As time passed, medical records became outdated. And then came the RAMP program, which was a new program to help speed up the appeals process. He thought it finally worked.
I still think I'm dreaming. Yeah, I still think I'm dreaming.
This is Steve Fisher.
We did a report back then noting his battle for benefits was longer than the war he served in. But it was a report that ended on a happy note.
But definitely when I wake up in the morning, I have a smile now.
Or so we thought.
So this is the Purple Heart right here.
In the past year, there have been positive moments. So let's start there. Steve was recently honored with a Purple Heart, acknowledgement for what he has been through and the injuries he received during war. But this picture only tells you part of the story.
I was back in my house probably by 4 p.m. with starting getting a headache. And then it just got worse. And then by that night, I would say I was in bed asleep by 8 p.m. And that's usually a common thing.
Fisher continues to struggle.
I'm somebody that appears to be okay. You know, I don't have, obviously I have my limbs and you know, I'm very thankful for that. You can't see, you know, major depression or PTSD, anxiety issues that are just constant.
Problems are so bad, he quit working.
I saw no difference than me forcing myself to go to work and slowly killing myself over a slow period of time.
While he's trying to heal, Steve's still fighting for benefits. Remember that rapid appeals program? They agreed he should have 100% disability coverage.
It all sounded like it was done. They said, well, we bumped, you're at 100% now. Here's your, you know, you were approved, but we're giving you 1 year of back pay. So they went back to October of 2017 instead of September of 2007 when I filed, which is a significant difference of back pay.
So Steve is appealing once again.
It's very frustrating, so I can understand, I can relate to a lot of other veterans that are going through this.
So here is a veteran acknowledged for injuries during service, but the VA can't seem to get his benefits straightened out. Steve is actually fairly understanding his war wounds represent a newer diagnosis for the VA.
More and more veterans are surviving these explosions, whereas in previous wars they would have been killed instantly.
Now the question is, how do we care for these soldiers who return home wounded in ways many of us can never understand?
Steve is sharing his story because he knows he's not alone. A lot of soldiers are battling for benefits, and it's exhausting. This time, Steve has decided to hire a lawyer. Angie Racono, KCTV5 News.